Hello everyone, this is Cody Lee of BlackCatBooks.org, author of I, the Dragon, Cruel and Beautiful, Rabbit Hole, King Dio, and the upcoming Lauren Frey. So, immediately following the Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard, there was a lot of crying on Twitter. A lot of salty Sony fanboys, a lot of Xbox fanboys celebrating, a lot of coping, and a lot of damage control from the gaming media. I don't think anyone picked up on this because I don't think anyone is as out. Well, maybe except Zobi. Zobi is the only person I think who follows this kind of thing more closely than me. Most people, there were an awful lot of game journalists who were taking this situation regarding Activision Blizzard, Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard, which is clearly a major blow against their primary competitor in the console space, Sony PlayStation. Completely such a severe blow that I don't think they'll ever be able to recover, really. Really what the discussion should have been was about that, like how Sony's going to recover from this, how they're going to counter, what they're going to do to deal with the loss of Call of Duty, literally the most popular game on their platform. This is a big deal against PlayStation. So much so that I don't think they'll ever be able to recover from it. But you don't hear game journalists talk about it. Instead, what they're trying to steer the discussion towards is the possibility that maybe Microsoft could acquire Nintendo. They are looking at this situation, seeing how bad it looks for PlayStation, and are trying to damage control by making the discussion about Nintendo instead. Like, oh man, Nintendo is only worth $50 billion and Microsoft's worth $1 trillion. They could totally acquire Nintendo. Not actually possible from what I understand of a Nintendo shareholder situation. I'll have to look into this a little bit more to talk about like all the ramifications, but like Nintendo doesn't want to sell, like is what it boils down to. And Microsoft can't go forward with a hostile takeover because I think of the way the shareholders are divvied up. I'm not an expert on this kind of thing. I'm not a Nintendo shareholder yet. So until that happens, until I start becoming an expert on the subject, I'm just gonna go with like Nintendo just doesn't want to sell. In fact, they've already rejected an offer from Microsoft to be bought out once. From what I remember, and people don't want to talk about that. They want to instead like speculate on like, oh, when's Microsoft going to acquire Nintendo? So it's ridiculous. I think the Sony thing is just it's just getting sad at this point. Like the Sony Defense Force is going full throttle. I don't even think I heard game journalists take back what they said last time this happened with Bethesda. That like, they're totally going to release games on PlayStation 2. No, they're not. No, they're not. Like they acquired it. It's gonna be coming to Xbox and then Nintendo later. Like that's how it's been for a long while now. Like Xbox seems to just hate Sony at this point, like more than I do. Like Ori, yeah, it can go to Xbox, it can go to PC, it can go to Switch, but PlayStation, no, fuck that shit. Halo, yeah, people have been talking about Halo coming to Switch. That's the thing that people don't seem to understand, don't seem to want to remember, actually, is that Microsoft has kind of already established that they are willing to take their online service, Xbox Game Pass, and put it on Nintendo Switch. The only reason it hasn't happened yet probably is because of like Switch technical limitations and the memory space and stuff like that. Maybe they're saving it for the next console, but I think that's in the cards. Like in the future, Xbox Game Pass on Nintendo Switch, on a Nintendo console, while Microsoft just kind of goes off into the sunset, like just retires the Xbox brand and just the hardware and just focuses on the gaming service, right? And then we can just play Halo on Switch, like the way God intended. Like I am very invested in seeing how things develop. I want to see how Nintendo responds to this. I want to see like what Xbox does going forward, and I want to see Sony really starting to panic because the gaming media just is doing everything they can to cover for them at the moment. But I think it's reaching the point where like even like big normies, like people like Medicare and Ricada, like casual gamers like that. Those people I saw were kind of commenting on how bad this looks for PlayStation. PlayStation has made a lot of mistakes over the past couple of years, like moving over to California, releasing The Last of Us Part 2, releasing the PS5, like having no games in general, and now this. Like, they're losing all of their biggest franchises to Xbox, and I don't see the gaming media talk about it enough. This is a gigantic deal. So big that I don't think PlayStation will ever recover.